Hi, everyone, and welcome to Gabbing with Gabby. Today, I have my friend Kelley Crawford. She's an interior designer with the American Society of Interior Designers. She's also a R.I.P.E.D instructor, which that's a hint. That's how I met her. And she's a lifestyle maven, which we'll get to what that means in a moment. Thank you, Kelley, for being on my show. I'm so excited that you decided to come on. Now, like I said before, I know Kelley through R.I.P.E.D, and we've gone to a lot of R.I.P.E.D events together. And she makes the best peanut butter bars on the planet. That's how most that's how people know her. Like, you bringing those peanut butter bars? Because I will drive up to Orange County and take that R.I.P.E class if you're making those peanut butter bars. Yeah,
Exactly.
they are delicious. We've had some fun times together doing lots of different R.I.P.E events. She's been in a couple, at least two, right? R.I.P.E videos, home videos. I've been in one. Yay. So we're kind of seasoned. We've been around. It's lots of fun. And it's part of our lifestyle. It's part of who we are, which you'll learn right now when we ask Kelley, tell us exactly what a lifestyle maven is and does.
So for me, I've been doing interior design all my adult life, and I added an element of fitness and lifestyle as far as wellness. I also just got certified in teaching yoga, so I teach my ripped classes. I do yoga. I cook. I like healthy lifestyle living. When I design my interiors, I have a lot of clients that wellness becomes important. We're designing a lot of aging in place for people to have forever homes. It's important
Mhm.
to me how homes and spaces function. I want them to be not only beautiful, but really I tend to be overtly practical. And so, I make sure that the Tupperware goes in this drawer and the silverware goes in this drawer and things. So I'm really I try to encompass whole living, not just your interior, but your interior of your home, but your interior as your body as well, by teaching
Okay.
lifestyle classes and sharing sharing wellness news. I guess that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I like it. So it's a little bit of everything, and it just becomes this whole, um, uh, this whole organism, right? That you're using, and it touches everybody. Because one of the things that you did mention was that having your space be beautiful, whatever that beauty is to you, makes a difference in your mindset. So I know for me, and one of these in a couple of weeks I'll be posting a personal organizer that I hired, a professional organizer, and she helped me organize my garage because I lost a space that belonged to me that was just mine and my husband's, but it became our bedroom and our office, and then you know everything became a shared space. And then I would come into the garage where it was supposed to be a space for me to kind of clear my mind, but it wasn't. I just look around and felt overwhelmed, and it really affected the way I felt. And now that we've at least have half of it, the half that I need, that's important. The gym half of it complete, it really makes a huge difference in how I feel and think and sit in my body when I'm in here.
Totally. And I think, that's one of the things COVID has taught all of us. Working from
Hmm.
home has changed everything. It has changed commercial real estate forever. But now
Yeah.
that people are working from home, our big spaces that are open, they're noisy.
Hmm.
I have a home office and I've officed at home since I've lived here in California. But my husband is now home. And then my daughter was home. And for a while, her fiance was with us. And there were four of us trying to live in one
Hmm.
space, one house. Everybody had their stuff spread apart. And it was like, ugh. And even though I had my office, it really wasn't mine. And it was really a struggle in those first few months to kind of get that routine. And with them being here temporarily, it was like there was a lot of stuff that wasn't mine. And that for me just drove me wild because having things in an order for me is critical to my mental sanity and my mental. I mean, I can have clutter. I have organized piles on my desk, but organized. And I know where all those papers are, but to come in and see chaos and have chaos in my life, oh, that's unnerving. It's difficult. So, and
I
I
can
think
relate.
that's what interior designers do. So that's part of my job when I'm organizing somebody's home. And those are questions when I start with a client project, I ask all those questions. How do you live? How do you entertain? How do you interact with your family? Where do you live? So all of that lifestyle practice is real. And I put that into my clients' homes and into their projects.
Yeah, and now things are, like you said, they're changing quite a bit. That open floor space plan that was so popular. I mean, we were considering doing it too.
And
And
now would
now,
you? And now would you?
um, I I don't think so. I don't think so.
Because is
Yeah,
your
I mean,
husband working from home?
my husband's working from home, and his office is in our bedroom. And the kids have their own bedroom, which I'm very thankful for. But I don't think I would do that open floor space plan. I think things would be, I don't know what I would do, but it would just be a little bit different. Um, but yeah, I mean, nobody was here. So of course, everybody, you wanted it open and it's grand. It makes it feel bigger.
But
Yeah.
now all of a sudden, in fact, I was just reading an article this morning. Everybody wants those cozy spaces. Everybody wants to feel they want a niche of their own. They want their
Hmm.
place where they can go and, tune out the noise, tune out the everyday.
Hmm.
It's their own private sanctuary. So
Hmm.
I think for me, that's my bedroom, because I don't office in there, fortunately, but
Hmm.
I have created that cocoon in my bedroom, and I have
Hmm.
a meditation space, and I have just private things in there that are just for me. And, in the evening, that's where I go to retreat. It's wonderful.
Yeah, that's nice. See, my sister actually texted my husband and said, you need to go to Home Depot and buy your wife a she shed. I was like, where are we going to put a she shed? First of all, I don't want to be in a shed.
Right.
I get the sentiment, right? I get it. I get it. I get where she was going. And before we had kids, it was very important for me to make sure that they would always have their own room. So if we were going to have two kids, we need to have two extra bedrooms because they need to have their own space, because it was so important to me growing up to have my own space. Because when you are fighting with your sisters, or you got enough argument with your parents because they're controlling your life, when you're a teenager,
Right.
your very existence annoys it annoys your kids, as a parent. But we always went to our rooms and turned the music on, and it was our space. And I wanted something like that for them. And now it's way more important now, because that's where they hang out all the time, and it's your safe space.
Right.
It's where you make it the way that you want it. You have your things the way that you want it. It's quiet, it's safe, it's yours. Yeah.
Yep. And I think people didn't realize that, because like you said,
Hmm.
there was a time, and I have in my own home, we have a great room, which when we bought this home, when my children were small, the theory was we wanted the great room as opposed to an optional fifth bedroom, because we wanted the kids to be with us as long as they wanted to be with us. And there comes
Hmm.
a point where they don't want to be with you.
Yeah,
But
no.
there was when we first moved in and my kids were 7 and 3, we would play cards on the floor every night, or board games and whatever, in the back half of my great room. And I
Hmm.
still do love my great room, but I'll tell you what, at the end of the day, after dinner and the TV is blaring, I'm going
Hmm.
upstairs
Where it's quiet.
into my space, into my little meditation corner, cuddling up with my dog, and it's like that's my space. And
Yeah.
I need that. I need that to decompress after a
Yes.
very busy day, because right now, with everybody sitting at home, everybody's
Hmm.
deciding they're needing to redo their spaces. Nobody's traveling, and so all their vacation dollars and saved money from not eating out is all being used to
Hmm.
renovate homes. So I've been really blessed in that I've had really amazing projects this last year. So
That's really great.
then that private space becomes even more critical.
Oh, yes. I agree. I agree. I'm glad to hear that your business was not affected, and it only became better for you. So that's really good.
Better.
Yeah, sometimes you don't know. I mean, things that you don't think about, and they've and are affected, some negative and some positive. So this is a good plus. When it first happened in March, was it difficult for you? You said you had a little bit of a hard time when COVID first hit, and then plus there were some things that were going on with your daughter, which is an incredible story. And if you don't mind, please share, because it's a pretty great story of healing. And
It's it's a great story. My daughter was living at home with us, and it was in her last semester of law school.
mhm.
And in January, second day of class, she was in a 4-car pileup on the freeway and suffered
Ooh,
a massive concussion and a whiplash. And all of a sudden, everything got derailed. She had to drop out of school and
oh,
basically spent 6 months healing. Then her boyfriend at the time, he's now her fiance, he moved in
mm,
with us to escape an awkward living situation. So all of a
mhm.
sudden, there were 4 of us
Yeah,
and lots of stuff because I had all of his stuff plus all of her stuff and our stuff.
yeah.
And oh my goodness. So they ended up deciding they needed some space. So the 2 of them went to Boise and spent 6 months up in Boise with his family. They left in June. They were gone the month of April, then they went back in June. And she basically, my daughter, practiced yoga. She got a massage gun
Mhm.
and did a lot of Epsom salts and just spent time healing. And
Wow.
then started law school virtually in September and then finished in December. And I graduated or finished graduating at the top of her class and is
Mm,
now home studying, and she's hibernating in her bedroom studying for the bar.
yes.
So, but that was a long road because at first,
Mhm.
that first month, she had blurry vision, she had nausea, she had
Mm.
vertigo, she had um, extreme headaches and couldn't even
Oh,
sit up. It was horrible. And so
oh,
at
how
that point,
sad.
here's somebody who has so much going on. She has a job already lined up that had to be pushed back. And here's somebody that was just going, 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 and all of a sudden just got derailed. So
Oh,
we're so thankful for her, and she's a complete rock star, healing
yeah.
and finishing up, and now studying for the bar. And she has a job. She starts March 8th, so we're thrilled.
That's so fantastic. What a great story of overcoming and really setting her mind to something and accomplishing it, you know? But she's got a very good role model because you have not stopped either. You know, tell everybody how old you were when you decided to become a fitness instructor.
Well, so the hilarious thing of that is my husband, this was 2010. So my husband had been out of work 2.5 years, and he decided, Kel, you like to cook. You should become the cooking lady at Trader Joe's. And I thought, if I become,
Ooh, I love that job. I
I
love Trader
know,
Joe's.
right? So he said, I thought, if I get a job at Trader Joe's, I don't get to work out. But if I get a job teaching fitness, I get paid, I
You
get
get
benefits,
paid.
I get to work out.
Yes.
So in 2010, I got my Group X certification on my 49th birthday. So
49th
in
birthday.
2 weeks, I'll be 60. So
You
there you
look
go.
so amazing. You're so amazing. Oh my gosh. When I'm
So,
60, I
you
want to
know,
look and do what you're doing.
I'm having a blast. I just feel like I'm hitting my stride. I'm having so much fun. I have so many fun projects. I have wonderful students. And most of the students that I teach in my classes are in my demographic. So we are not spring chickens. But you know what? Here's the thing. We are out, we are trying. We do push-ups, we do burpees, some do modifications, some don't. We are
Hmm.
having so much fun, and I love the support. I still have
Hmm.
my group that I teach, and we started doing outdoors at the park, and they're all there. They're so happy. They can't wait until
Hmm.
we start up again back at the gym. Our gym isn't anywhere near ready to open.
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know when it
Yeah.
will. But
Yeah.
my little group of ripped warriors, um,
Hmm.
they're awesome. And like I said, they're all early to mid 60s. I have a
Hmm.
75-year-old, and we're all supporting each other. We all have each other's backs, and it's a great community. I just love it. And
Hmm.
yeah, we're not stopping. We're having fun. I'm having
I
fun.
know.
And
I've,
why?
I've,
It's like it should.
yeah, exactly. I've said this before because I've had a couple of instructors on here, because there's, a group of us, and that if you've never done Group X before, or group fitness, uh, then you don't quite understand the connection that you're making with people. It is an extended family outside of your home. It's a whole another world of people that you've connected with and you've created these relationships, and it becomes a big part of your life because there are people that go every day or every other day and it's part of their routine. So when it all came to an end, or to a halt, we'll say not to an end, but to a halt, it was very shocking for a lot of us. So I would imagine that the people that you have, your group of people, just like mine, we all love our virtual connection. Even though I'm not outside, I do it virtually and have been since March, 6 days a week. It's saved a lot of us mentally and emotionally. It is very, very important. And it's not when you get to a certain age, my son is 16. So right now he's like, I want to get swole and I want to lift my best max and rep max and whatever. And I'm like, that's fine. I'm 46. I just want to be healthy.
Well,
and
and you
I
don't want
want
to
to keep
hurt.
moving.
You
Yeah.
don't want to hurt. You want to be mobile. I'm a really a big proponent of use it or lose it. So,
Yes.
the reason I decided I just completed my 200-hour yoga training
Hmm.
was that flexibility and
Hmm.
lengthening and mobility of my spine, mobility of my hips, all of
Hmm.
that is just going to increase my
Hmm.
wellness as I go forward. And it's like
Hmm.
I fully intend to teach yoga till I'm at least 90. I
Yes, I
that's the goal.
agree. I was just going to say that. I might not be teaching ripped, insanity, hit, all that stuff, but I will teach yoga forever, even if I'm sitting on a chair. In fact, one of my favorite types of yoga to teach when we were in a gym was whenever they called me to sub at the local gym for chair yoga, and they would request me because, all right, if you're part of the old elderly community, they're persnickety about their teachers. But once you're in and that's it. But if you're not in right away, you are super out. They don't want anything to do with it.
You know what? I teach. I'm on a sub list for a seniors center up in Laguna Hills,
Yes.
and I started teaching there when I moved my mother here 4 years ago. My mother has Alzheimer's, and so that's
Mhm.
another motivation for me to keep moving.
Yes.
But I started subbing classes over there, and now I'm the only one they want.
Yes.
And I just love it. I teach sitting in a chair,
I
and we
love it.
all kinds of crazy stuff. I miss them terribly. Um,
Hmm.
I do, and I haven't seen. They've been on a complete lockdown, and
Yeah.
I miss them. Um,
Hmm.
so I've not a couple of my. It's interesting because one of my RIP students from our Montanoso, her mother was at the towers, and so I kind
Hmm.
of keep tabs on them through her. But now I
Hmm.
haven't even seen her. But I still, even when the lockdown happened in March, I started texting my people. I didn't start teaching virtually until the end of March. There was like three
Hmm.
weeks that went by, and I was grieving. It was like, oh, what am I going to do? And
Hmm.
like, man, part of me also said, my body's broken. And so
Hmm.
maybe this couple of weeks is good for me to heal. And then at week 3, I kind of went, I don't think this is going to change. This is not good.
Yeah.
This is not an overnight thing. And
Yeah.
so I realized, you know what, Kel, you need to get up. I was used to teaching 5:30 in the morning classes. So I
Hmm.
still get up at 4, between 4 and 4:30. I still get up every day. I still teach
Hmm.
at 5:30 or not 5. I don't teach, but I still work out at 5:30 this morning. I was up doing yoga at 5:30 this morning because
Yes.
for me, that routine keeps me sane. But
Hmm.
I text, I email, I track my students on Facebook, we
Hmm.
communicate, and they're
Hmm.
appreciative of the fact that, like you said, we're family. And so
Hmm.
we're still connected. And
Hmm.
actually, I have a couple of them as clients, so I do get to see them. We all have
Hmm.
masks on, but I still get to see them, and
Yes.
that's wonderful.
Yeah, I check in with some of my clients too that I don't see virtually or in person, but every month or every other month, I just check in and how you doing? What's new? What's going on? How's your new puppy? Because somebody's always got a new puppy, like
Yep, yep,
you
yep.
know. So I think it just makes people feel good that there's still somebody out there thinking about you, and just you weren't just a number. Yeah.
Exactly. And
Hmm.
I think that's been the biggest thing. I know I started doing Zoom happy hours and Zoom things with
Hmm.
my neighbors just as we weren't seeing anybody. I mean,
Hmm.
when March 13th came and everybody just started locked down, it was
Hmm.
like, oh, this is weird. And then, we started, Zoom became the norm.
Hmm.
And all of a sudden we were doing Zoom happy hours and getting together with my friends. And
Hmm.
I still FaceTime a lot of my friends
Hmm.
that we don't get to see. So
Same
but
here.
that connection is real. That connection
Yes.
is real. And that's what you get with teaching group fitness.
Yeah, it's definitely something that you can't, it's hard to recreate. Um, However, I think we're all doing a pretty good job of maintaining it and keeping it going, whether it's virtually or out in a park or, however, everybody has their own spin on it, but everyone I've talked to has found a way. I have another friend that teaches Zumba, and a lady said, please come teach it in my backyard. I have a huge backyard. They all stand like 6 feet apart, and they said, we don't care if it rains. I have a big barn or whatever, you come and do my, but they just want to be moving, and they want to connect to people because it keeps you sane.
Amen.
It's Yeah, it's a
And
huge part of life.
it's wellness,
Yeah.
and to wellness is essential.
Hmm.
Fitness is essential. And, for the gyms to close and all of a sudden cut that connection has just been tragic for so many. So
Hmm.
I'm so thankful for an outlet to be able to do that. And I'm
Hmm.
thankful for students who are sticking by me. I mean, sometimes we only have one and sometimes we have a whole handful, but I always send out my recordings. And then I have people on the East Coast and they send me a thank you note, say, thank you so much. It's just made everything better.
Oh, that's nice. See how nice that is? Yeah,
It's
and it feeds you.
awesome.
It feeds your soul, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
it's it's so reciprocal. I try and tell people that all the time. I don't think they believe me, but I tell them all the time, listen, whatever you're feeling, it is mutual. I need you as much as you need me. I really do. If I did not do this, I don't know where I would be. I would be very depressed. It would be a very dark, dark place for me.
And
So,
and it's so funny. I laugh because when I teach and I'm here by myself and I'm saying, come
mhm.
on, you can do this. I know, I can hear you. I can hear you. Let
Yeah,
me hear
yeah.
that clap. Let me hear your kick. And, you feel really stupid, but I know somebody gets that. So
Yes,
I'm okay with
of
it.
course.
I
I
get
know
it.
you have to get really creative because you can't do the things that you would normally, the call and response,
Right.
And so we make jokes. I'm like, I won't unmute you, but I trust that you're yelling something right now, because if I unmute you, it's going to be a cacophony of sounds that nobody wants to hear. But,
Right.
you can always unmute at the end and go, that kicked my butt, and then mute yourself again.
Exactly. Exactly. Which I love. And, we always, before I start my class, we do before and after. And it's a great
Yes,
way to connect. Then we're all business during the middle and during the business part, but there
right.
is definitely a connection, even if it's just via screen.
Yes. That's how I started gabbing with Gabby is I would do once a month. In fact, I have to do one this month where just after class, we would take a little break and come back with our coffee or protein drinks or whatever and just chit chat. And just a handful of us would do it, but it's that handful that would hang out in the parking lot in
Right.
front of the gym, right? Back
Right.
in the day.
Right.
And my husband came up with the name Gabbing with Gabby. And then it evolved to this, which I love too. But yeah, it's just another way of connecting. And I've gotten a lot closer with my sisters and my family since COVID because we were all bored and alone and didn't know what to do. So we kind of just glommed onto each other and we played game nights. And one time, a friend of mine and a couple of friends of ours, we did a cooking lesson, over Zoom. So you get creative and you got to make the best of it and see, the silver lining and be the light, which is something that you talked about. And I'd like you to talk a little bit about that too, because I really liked that phrase, be the light, because there are a lot of people in a dark place. And, you're there to help uplift them and help them see that there's always possibilities and there's always hope, right?
And
And you
I think for me, um, there were so many silver linings last year, and I started looking for those. It was like, okay,
Hmm.
so we're home. But you know what? My husband's home. He's high
Hmm.
risk from a health standpoint, so we've been
Hmm.
really protective of him. He has his first round vaccine, and he'll get the second round in a couple of weeks. So
Oh,
yay.
yay.
But to look for the silver linings, I had set goals for myself back in January, and I was able to reach most of those goals, which was huge. But the other thing was connection over this, connection over media. But the reality is, it could be a dark time, and there's always somebody who needs to be encouraged. And
Hmm.
so if I'm feeling like, oh man, I've got the weight of the world on my shoulders, I need to look for somebody else who needs my light, and then I can share that light and move them forward.
Hmm.
So there's always somebody to encourage, there's always somebody out there who needs to be brightened. And
Hmm.
that was probably the other big silver lining, was if I that's my job, is to be light, whether it's helping somebody interior wise, helping somebody with a recipe, helping somebody with wellness, helping somebody move and be vital. um,
Hmm.
that's light. So
Hmm.
that's
Yeah.
our job, that's my job, is being light.
Hmm. And you do a really good job of taking care of yourself as well, whatever you need to make sure that your cup is full so that you can be there for other people. That's
Exactly.
important too. Yeah.
Exactly. And
So do you?
I think so many people forget that. They forget
Mhm.
that. They think, oh, I just have to give, 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 give.
Mm.
But then all of a sudden it's like, oh, then you feel depleted. So
Mhm.
finding that little sweet space for yourself, carving out that special sacred place for yourself, my meditation corner,
Mhm.
taking some time outside, getting some fresh air, having time with I joined a hiking group. Oh my gosh, was that huge, just to be outside and having grown-up
Mhm.
conversation that wasn't related to home stuff.
Right.
That was huge. That filled my cup. And then when my cup is full, then it overflows, and I can
Mhm.
go to others.
Yeah. You're amazing.
Oh, thanks.
And we've tried over and over again to meet at Disney and it just never, but we will once that place opens and hopefully we'll be able to get in
Right?
because now
You
there's
know,
no more passes.
well, they've discontinued all passes,
No.
and so I guess they're going to do some sort of a membership thing. But my husband and I, we were there like every week. He went every week. I went maybe every 2 3 weeks.
Mhm.
I miss it. I miss it.
Oh,
I
I
miss
I miss it so bad. I'm going to downtown Disney this Friday if you wanna meet me there.
You know what? We went for my husband. My husband turned 65 in September, and we went for the day. We
Yeah.
went to Black Tap and got the milkshakes and
Yes.
burgers. We went to the
Yeah.
Disney store. We walked around,
Mhm.
and it was eerie. It was so
It
sad
was
to see
very eerie,
clothes.
right? Especially when you walk between the 2 parks, and that whole promenade there is a ghost town. It's
And
very weird.
we even have a brick. We even have one of those, our
Oh,
name.
you do? I'm gonna go look for it.
We do. I can tell you the location. Um,
Okay.
but anyway, it was really creepy. But now that the stay home orders have been lifted, I told my husband the other night, I go, downtown Disney will open back up, because at that point, and then they did open in California Adventure.
Yes.
They opened Buena Vista Street, so it's like,
Yeah.
um, but it's not the same. It's
It's
not the
not the
same.
same, and we went around Halloween. I took the
My favorite.
kids.
My favorite.
Yes. Yeah, it was fun. It filled my heart, at least. It filled my heart enough to hold me over and at least have some of it, some of the little magic. It really is magic there. Some of the little magic there. And but we watch a lot of this YouTube channel, Disney Food Blog. I'm giving you a shout out because
Oh, I
they
don't know
are
that.
amazing. Oh, they're amazing. They know everything there is to know about Walt Disney World resorts in Florida, every restaurant there. And so since COVID, my
And
son
it's
found
Disney
it.
Food Blog. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Okay.
DFB. I'll totally tag them in here
Okay.
because they're amazing. And so since COVID, actually Elijah found it, and they do everything about all the restrictions. So not only do they go through the food and the merchandise, but all the restrictions, the hours they're open, and all the little caveats that they have and stuff right now. So my son and I will watch every new one that comes out, and we watch, and we just
I get it.
and they'll do stuff about Disneyland too. They'll give updates about Disneyland, but we're dying to go.
You
So
know,
much so that I'm going on Friday.
well, you know what? We always celebrate birthdays there. So, like I
Same
said, my
here,
husband,
Kelley.
in
Yeah.
September, we went in September,
Yeah.
and we haven't been back, but it's like we always celebrate my birthday at Disneyland.
Same
And it's
here.
like, yeah,
But, it's out of our long lives, we've got a long life that we've lived.
that's
It's
right.
one tiny sliver,
It is,
a
and
little
it'll
tiny
come
sliver.
back. But if the silver lining in that is that we found other things, that's
Yes,
okay too, that were
that's
less
okay.
expensive, because those passes were not,
Very expensive.
that was expensive. But just the hiking and that being outdoors and all of that,
Mhm.
that was my silver lining.
Yeah, that filled that empty space
It
there
did.
that you
It,
had.
I don't know
Yeah.
though. I'm a roller coaster kind of girl, so I'm ready. I'm ready to go on the Incredicoaster, and I need some Space
Mhm.
Mountain and some Thunder
Guardians of the
Mountain.
Galaxy.
The mountains are calling, and I must go.
Yeah. The hills are alive.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we'll meet there again soon.
We
I'm
will.
sure
We
I'm sure
will.
they'll open up soon.
Yeah,
So, do you have a website or ways people can reach you for interior design or maybe your RIP classes?
I do.
Your
So,
outdoor ones?
um, well, my outdoor one is still somewhat private, but
Okay.
well, it is and it isn't. So let me think how to access that. I'm getting a new website. That was one of my goals for last year. So
Mhm.
it, it's it's up and coming. But Facebook is Kelley Crawford. Um, my Facebook page for business is Casey Studio.
Mhm.
Instagram is Kelley Crawford Studio. If you're interested in the outdoor RIP class, it's in my neighborhood, which is in Mission Viejo at Felipe and Oso. You
Okay.
definitely need a code because we are gated.
Mhm.
But message me on Facebook, Kelley Crawford, and I'm happy to send you a link if you want to come. Um, we have plenty of room. We're on a basketball court. We're 8:30 Saturday mornings, weather permitting. And the first time I did it was New Year's Day, and I thought, who wants to come New Year's Day? And the response was overwhelming. And I got up to teach live and
Oh.
in person, and I had tears. It was like I was verklempt.
Oh.
It was like just to be back in front of somebody live and have
Yes.
have somebody go woohoo.
Yeah. Call and response. Remember the call and response. Yeah.
Yeah, it was wonderful. So yeah, my business name is Casey Studio, and I'm always looking for good projects.
Okay, excellent. I'll put that in the description below. Thank you so much, Kelley, for being on my show. I really, really appreciate it. You have so much information and you're so fun to talk to. And you do make the best peanut butter cookies. And if you're willing to share the recipe, I will post all that
I
information
will
in
I
the
will get that
description
out.
below.
I will get that out. You got it. Because those are legendary. And I have to give a shout out though to Erin Woodbury, because she's the one that started that, and I just took her recipe and modified it. So she's the
Okay.
one who started, and then I just made it more.
You Kelleyfied it.
I just modified it to make it so that it was work better for me, and I did modifications. But yes,
Okay.
those peanut butter bars are legendary, and yep, they're good. I'll send you
All
the
right.
rest.
Excellent. All right. Thank you so much for being on this show. And we'll see you guys next time on Gabbing with Gabby. Bye.
Bye.